Psychology today has revealed that self-sabotage, that age-old problem, is precisely that, age-old, has a anthropological etymology, which I suppose it obviously would, as all behaviour would. Any behaviour perhaps you can track back to some place in our indigenous original history, and self-sabotage no different. They say that we sabotage ourselves when our fear of, what do they say? Our fear of loss is higher than our desire for gain. Let's just read this directly so I don't nose it up for you. To understand how self-sabotage is tied to our human existence, we need to take a look at two simple principles that drive our survival: attaining rewards and avoiding threats. I'm all about attaining rewards, aren't you? A pat on the back, a compliment. In my former life, pleasure-based ideas. Avoiding threats. Oh God, I'd avoid threats at all costs. I hate a threat. But I used to be so reward driven that threats was, I'd tolerate the old threats, wouldn't you? Like I used to get out there, let's get amongst it, stir stuff up, become super famous, get mouth off. Now, oh, I can't deal with a threat, can you? It's a right bloody nuisance. So self-sabotage, I suppose, is a kind of a containment, an inability or unwillingness at least to venture forth into that great behavioural void that is relationship with the unknown other, be it human or otherwise. Like here's the breakdown that Psychology Today offered, the 4 components of self-sabotage. Low or shaky self-concept. Do you know yourself? Do you know yourself well? Do you know what you want? Have you examined yourself? Have you inured yourself, the process that makes iron strong? Have you looked at who you are and what you want? Like most people in recovery, I've had to do a lot of that stuff. There's an inventory process where you break down your former life transgressions or resentments and break down why you did what you did and how what can be inferred from it. So my sense of self, I mean, again, to go a bit broader than psychology today and to look at the spiritual component, which of course intersects with psychology. You are a construct. I am a construct. I am born in a particular time, in a particular place, to a particular family, to particular cultural ideals. I've had particular experiences, and those experiences have realised me. Now, I happen to believe that there is an essence to a human being that realises itself, same way as this thing is trying to realise itself, like all nature is trying to realise itself. But our fetishization of individualism and particular traits, i.e. very narrow definitions of masculinity, narrow definitions of femininity, prescribed versions of sexuality, and limited forms of conduct that are socially acceptable, mean that your concept of self, in a sense, should be shaky. Because what are you? Who are you? Who told you that you believe that? Have you ever tried to unpack why you are vegan, or why you support West Ham, or why you love particular pop stars? Sometimes it's unexamined information, unexamined, experienced. Right, so the next one, low or shaky self-concept, because I'm saying that it's possible to break through. I'm saying that, like, the realization, which I've had sometimes on psychedelics when I was a younger man, that the self is a construct is an important part of enlightenment. So often I think mental trauma, not in serious self-harm, suicide, mentally ill type ways, but you know, I'm talking about the anxiety that seems endemic in our culture of addiction, our culture of depression. Sometimes this can be an opportunity to break through to a different person, a different aspect of yourself that doesn't feel like it's being expressed. Internalized beliefs we can take on other people's negativity. Self-loathing can often be an expression of like poor nurturing in infancy, can't it? We know that. Fear of change or the unknown. Oh, I'm terrible at that, aren't you? I hate the old unknown. What's going to happen? Because what do you require in order to be able to face change in the unknown? Faith. Again, a spiritual idea, just a sense that I don't know how it's going to be okay, I just know that it's going to be okay. And if your life hasn't been okay in the past, where are you meant to resource this faith from? From where are you to derive this energy, this power, without a spiritual life? Good luck. Drugs, I'd suggest, or just some wild myopism about, like, I don't know, maybe you're going to get some good thing in the future. Excessive need for control. God, I suffer from that terribly. The lack of trust, complete lack of trust. So in a sense, I can see how spiritual beliefs can counteract each of the components that make up self-sabotage. So if you are a self-sabotaging person, then perhaps look to your spiritual life. What do you mean spiritual life? Firstly, who are you? What do you want? Why are you the way you are? What do you do for other people? What are your unconscious desires? You won't know that immediately because they are unconscious, but if you try to examine, what is it I'm trying to get? Sometimes if you go to approach a person, you think, why am I approaching this person? You think, oh, it's because I fancy them. You think, well, is that the right thing to do at this time. It depends on your personal circumstances, I suppose. Or, oh, I'm going over here because I want something from this person. The world is not a vessel to fill you up. We are vessels to fill the world up. That is the fundamental spiritual transition that I believe can be the key to moving you from a place of misery, dissatisfaction and disconnection to a place of fulfillment. The acknowledgement that you already have the abundance within you that you require, that the world's not going to give you anything, because how can it? This narrow bandwidth within infinity, reaching right out to the limitless multiversal extremes, reaching down, down, down into a sub-particular realm, unknowable to limited minds such as ours. We construct our reality through our consciousness to varying degrees, perhaps absolutely and entirely. So let's try and construct some better ones. There are systems available, and if you're interested in those, have a look at some of these additional videos that I do on 12 steps, self-realization, and there's a little video on fear of the future you might want to look at as well, but you should certainly be following me on YouTube and stuff. Peace, fellow human. Good luck out there.